Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue on a personal journey of motivation. We're going to fill that cup right back up this morning. Now, the psychology of getting fitter involves understanding the mental processes and behaviors that contribute to adopting and then maintaining a healthy lifestyle. It's the long game we're after here. So how do we stick to those New Year's resolutions of getting fit? Do we even call it a New Year's resolution? Well, it's not just about physical exercise and nutrition, which we've covered this morning. It's also about the mindset and motivation behind making positive change. And joining us to share her wisdom is a very young personal trainer with a lot of wisdom, Andile Peyi. Andile, I love the fact that you have made this your life journey.
Yeah.
Which clearly means that this is kind of a purpose-driven exercise for you.
Yeah.
I doubt you could do anything else.
Yeah.
Where does this begin for you? Was this a mental shift, or do you have to meet some kind of physical demand? Your body just needs to move. Where does the motivation stem for you?
Definitely mental. It's definitely a mental shift. I feel like once you mentally just prepare yourself for what's about to happen, yeah, you just keep going and all of that, yeah.
Because it's one and the same thing, and we often forget that that's how our brain works. It just wants to register success.
Yeah.
To be motivated. You just need to see a little incremental increase, and then you feel better about life. That needs a strategy, and I think this is the best part, is you can have a goal, you stick to it, you get results.
Yeah.
Life doesn't often work like that.
It doesn't always work, because there's always something that's going to come up, and then you just have to find the time for that exercise and just do it, because at the end of everything, or like at the end of all of it, it just helps you mentally, keeps you going, keeps pushing you and all of that, yeah.
And there's a balance that you find. It's amazing. Often after not being active for about 2 weeks, and I've been on a rehab journey to find my body again, so it's slightly different to a lot of people I know, but I know a huge amount of people remember themselves being fit and strong and then went a different path and are wanting to get back into that space.
Yeah.
What is that mantra you use? What do you say to yourself? Because despite being fit and energetic, there must be mornings like this morning when you've got to get up at 4 and you've got to get going.
Yeah.
What's that mental game, that mantra that you use on yourself?
Mine is, I always say that you have to put the work in for it to work out. If you don't put the work in, it's just not going to work out. And we all have goals, and we all set goals for ourselves, and in order for us to achieve it, we have to do it. We have to do it at the end of the day. We're not going to get there if we're not going to do anything. If we just sit there and just, you know what?
You've got to move.
You
Even
have
if
to
it's
move.
one step forward, you've got to move.
One step forward, yeah, you have to move.
And that's transferable into other areas of our life. And I don't think we realize to what extent, once you've laid that kind of neural pathway down, you get to lean on that whenever you need to.
Exactly. Whenever you find yourself in a difficult situation, you go in like, how am I going to do this? If I do it now, it's done. It's done.
And it does. It lays that kind of baseline of like, whatever the problem is, I'm going to just pick myself up 1 foot at a time.
100%.
You obviously have I would imagine a miraculous job of seeing people crack this code.
Yeah.
Discovering themselves again, maybe for the first time, discovering their physical potential. What difference do you see in people when they do crack that code?
I love it when people come in and their goals are to lose weight or just to strengthen. And then the shift comes in, oh no, I feel a lot better now. I don't feel stressed as much, works a lot better. That just changes from physical to mental. Yeah, and I love that.
And the funny thing is, and I have this realization whenever I get back into like a fitness regime, where you're like, nothing else has changed. I feel so much better about the pressures at work, about financial pressures, about familial pressures. None of those pressures have gone away. I'm just better.
And you just better now. You know how to handle certain situations differently now.
How do you then take that motivation and let that fuel the trajectory upward? How do you keep yourself motivated? How do you make sure that you do stick to the long game?
Just stick to you just, oh my word, like I just think that you have to just remember how you were before and where you are right now, and just reflect. Always reflect back at how far you came.
Because I think, if you're in it, you often don't realize the progression, certainly in my journey. But if I look back to where I was 6 months ago, I will say, Andile, the one thing that's made all the difference for me is the experts like you sitting in the couch, because it is such a motivation to know that there are people dedicating their entire lives to the well-being of others.
Yeah.
So thank you for being that.
Thank
you for being so young and fresh as well, just to reinforce how old and not fresh the rest of us are. Now, you are going to go places, so keep this kind of motivation going. There is a community around you. You might not have plugged into it yet, but there is so much motivation ready to get you moving. So go out and take that first step.